Amber Jones, born Amber Kaiser, mother of five children, the oldest, 8-year-old Mariah, a daughter that she described as her mini me, with a heart for animals and dreams of becoming a vet. Then 7-year-old Elias, a gentle soul that she considered her teddy bear, whom the girls were already flocking to by kindergarten. 6-year-old Nathan, smart and mischievous, a freckled faced prankster who could make you laugh. 2-year-old little Gabriel, who had what's called Angelman syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that caused his mouth to curl into a smile that never left him. But his eyes always gave him away that it was a real and genuine smile. And then the baby of the family, 1-year-old Abigail, a pint sized spirited firecracker. Amber had lived with her husband and children's father, Tim Jones Jr., in DuPage County, Illinois. Tim was a graduate of Mississippi State University with a computer engineering degree. By 2013, the traditional and religiously conservative marriage had soured, and the couple divorced in October of that year. Tim was awarded custody as the most financially stable of the couple, and Amber was given visitation. Tim and the children moved to a mobile home trailer in Red Bank, a neighborhood in Lexington, South Carolina. On Thursday, August 28th, 2014, Tim picked up the three oldest kids from school. That would be Mariah, Elias, and Nathan, and then got Gabriel and Abigail from their daycare and drove to Walmart. They later came home. Amber called the house that evening and talked briefly with Nathan, who was crying because he had gotten in trouble for something. Amber was concerned that Tim was too hard on the kids, but wasn't able to get him to talk to her about it calmly at the time. 2 days later, when the children and Tim failed to show up for their visitation at the local Chick-fil-A, she reported her kids missing to the police. On the evening of Saturday, September 6th, Tim's black Cadillac Escalade was stopped by a routine checkpoint in Mississippi. The officers that spoke to Timothy found him to be rather strange, and his vehicle, which they considered a luxury SUV, smelled like garbage. They figured he was drunk or possibly high, so they ran a check on his South Carolina license plate and noted on the file that all five of his kids had been reported missing. So they had probable cause to search his rather smelly vehicle. At the time, Tim was also found to have been high on synthetic marijuana and had items normally used in making meth in the car. But most alarming were handwritten notes that appeared to detail the steps in mutilating bodies, and blood mixed with the smell of bleach and maggots. Tim Jones Jr. was brought in for questioning. His interview was played as audio during his trial in 2019. This is the audio of his confession as it was played in court. The original police interview was recorded in audio form only. A warning, it is graphic.
We did advise you of your rights. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you just state your name?
Tim Jones,
All right, what's your date of birth?
12/20/81.
All right, and you agreed to talk to us.
Yeah, we was talking, but they forgot to push the record button. So
Okay.
this is part two.
All right, and when we went towards the end, we asked you if we threatened you
You
in any
guys
way.
didn't threaten me.
No one promised you anything. Could you just please say it out loud?
No, nobody promised me anything.
Oh, okay. We talked about what happened with your children.
Well, no, I take that back. You guys did promise me. You guys said let me go give them a burial and try to help you out.
So
That's what you guys promised.
Promised a good burial for your children. We talked about when you picked your children up Thursday, which would have been August 28th. You picked them up from school that day, and something happened that night. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you walk us through what happened?
I questioned the town about 4 outlets that he blew. After a series of not getting any favorable responses out of him, I tried to use more harsh measures to just try to get out of him what was going on because I didn't know what he was doing. I seen 4 destroyed outlets. Is it for me, him? Was he curious? I just didn't know what was going on and I was trying to make sense of it. I think I worked him too hard, or maybe it was a combination of the electricity. I know electricity takes electrolytes out of your body. Something happened. It was out of the ordinary and he wouldn't tell me. If I would have known it, I mean, I would have gotten medical help and whatnot, but I don't know what he did, and he didn't tell me. I didn't see any burn marks on his body, so that's why I didn't rush him to the hospital. So after the fact, he deceased.
And then what happened, Tim?
What? How did he get deceased? What did you do?
I sent him to bed after I worked him real hard because he wouldn't answer me.
And what do you mean by working him too
I
hard?
just PT'd his ass till he couldn't handle it. Tried cracking him on butt a couple times to get something out of him to tell me what was he doing.
Right.
What's his motive?
And when you're saying PT, and what are we talking about?
Squats and push-ups.
Squats, push-ups. And how long were you having him PT?
I'm PT like an hour. Like I said, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Those kids would do insanity with me. We had fun doing it.
And where did he go from? You're doing this where in the house? Where you
This
PTing
was in
him?
the living room, and then I finally got tired of him and sent him to bed.
Okay.
Your ass to bed. You're not telling me the truth. I can't help you. Go to bed, man. You're wasting everybody's time.
And then you find out what?
I come back and find out that he's deceased. And when I find out he's deceased, then the shit hits the fan and all
How does the shit hit the fan, Tim?
the voices start going off, and then here comes the paranoia. Oh shit! What just happened? What just happened? This ain't gonna go. I can't call. Blah, blah. I got all these voices running through my head now.
And then what happens, Tim? What did you tell us earlier? So Natan was dead, and then what happened?
And I followed suit with the other four.
And how did you
Said
kill
that
them,
was
Tim?
with my hands
With your hands? Can you describe what you mean by with your hands?
around their neck.
Around their neck? Okay.
Who was next?
I'm just gonna put the order so I don't have to go into too much detail.
Okay.
with this.
Just tell us
Right.
the order.
Tan, Mira, Elias, Gabriel. Wait. Tan, Eli, Mira, Gabriel, Elaine.
And when did you say this was, Tim? What date? You told us earlier.
Thursday, I think. They were supposed to go to school Friday and they didn't go because, well, they couldn't go
Yeah. And you said also that this happened where?
at the house.
Can you tell me what that address was?
2155B, South Lake Drive.
What county is that in, Tim?
Lexington, South Carolina.
Lexington, South Carolina? Okay.
Where in the house did you say these happened at? In the house?
The bedroom, or not bedroom, the living room.
Okay. What did you do earlier? You said when you would strangle them. What would you do with the bodies at that point?
At that point, I was just running on fear and I wasn't thinking. Any normal person would have said, let me call the police and just turn myself in.
Okay.
I took the coward route and started following those voices in my head, which led me down such a nice path I'm on today.
And what did you do then
What do you mean?
with the bodies?
I put them in bags and threw them on the hill.
Okay, no. When you're at the house,
Oh, load them. I just load them in the car.
did you put them in the bag at that time?
I don't know. I
Okay.
was just by the bodies.
You put them in the vehicle. What type of vehicle was that?
Cadillac Escalade.
All right. And what do you do from there?
I started driving out of fear.
Tim, tell us, what was your original plan to do with the bodies? Now that we've had a chance to talk about it.
I don't know what my original plan was. I had so many thoughts going through my mind.
What were some of them? Because you wrote some notes and you bought some
I had
supplies.
100 different thoughts about what I could do.
Okay.
I don't want to sit and incriminate myself, but
No,
I
you're fine.
had a bunch of different things. One.
We went over this, but part of your plan was to do what? The bodies.
I think originally I intended to go do all that stuff that I wrote down on the paper, but
Which
then I
was
couldn't
what?
bring myself to it. I was
Right?
gonna just try to
What was it?
do stuff to just get rid of the corpse.
Do you remember what step one
I was
was?
gonna dissolve them or something like that. And I was gonna cut them up. And
You were gonna-
I was gonna do all kinds of stuff.
Did you write down that you were going to burn the bodies?
I think I was gonna burn them. Yeah.
And you were going to, what was step two?
Boil them, or I forget what it was. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't remember everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you write that you were going to...
I wrote stuff down that it was in the context of that time, but
All right. Was it something that you were going to cut the bodies up?
something I could bring myself to do. Yes.
All right, let's take a look
All right,
here.
Tim, while he's looking that up, I also want to clarify when you last saw Christina, your next door neighbor.
Oh, when I last saw her, the kids were actually still around.
She said she spoke to you on the 2nd.
She talked to me. She
talked to you on the
when I last seen her.
Mm-hmm. And the children, so she talked to you on the phone then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the children were
And
deceased then?
I lied to her and told the kids, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I want to go through this real quick with you. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but we went over this. What is day 1?
Burn up bodies.
What's day 2?
Saw down bones.
What's day 3?
MB smiley face. Dissolve and discard.
Okay, so your initial plan was to do these things with their bodies.
That was one of them. I told you there's other stuff. That just happened to be the one that's materialized. I had a million thoughts going through my
Okay,
mind.
let's go over this. This is what?
Head to the campground, melt bodies, and send bodies to dust or small discard by a sanitation plant.
Okay, so these are some of the things that were going through your head?
That's just a small amount of stuff that was going through my head, yes.
Did you write this before or after you killed the children?
After.
After?
I wasn't premeditating this, no.
Okay.
This was not premeditated. This was a, oh shit, what just happened?
So you had the bodies in the vehicle. Did you write this in your house, in the car? Where did you write these notes?
That was on the back of a clipboard in the house, I think. Yeah, I would think that would have been in the house. I'm not good at writing and driving.
Okay. Did you do this before or after you put the bodies in the car?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I'm sorry, those details I don't remember.
Now we had also gone through some of what you went and purchased, and specifically at the Walmart. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can find the receipt for that.
Drug of choice, nicotine.
What did you purchase at the Walmart?
I don't remember. Which Walmart?
This would have been the one in West Columbia.
Pull up the receipt, I don't remember.
Okay. Did you buy a saw there?
Yeah. Oop.
Okay. Did you buy? Let's go over this receipt here. This receipt is going to be from Gusser Road in West Columbia.
Okay.
All right. And the date here is 9/3. So this is after, because what happened to the children was on Thursday.
What day was that?
Is that correct?
28th.
That's the 28th.
That makes sense.
Now 9/3, this is on Wednesday, so this is after the weekend. And where have them children been the whole time?
With me.
Where?
Driving around a vehicle, I think.
Where are they though?
They're with me in the car.
Okay, they're all in the back?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in the middle, not back. So back implies the back where you open.
And
I
you,
see. I
you
see.
told me earlier you had them covered up in some sheets or blankets?
Yeah, I do blankets and a shitload of air freshener.
So you have their bodies there. You go and you purchase what? Walk me through what you're purchasing here.
I don't know what that rose.
All right. What's this?
A dust mask.
This is actually Gatorade, but
Oh,
dusk mask,
some goggles, and some hand saws.
some jab saw it says,
And a multi-saw.
multi-saw. What's this here?
Some muriatic acid.
And what's this here?
I think a 5-gallon pail.
All right. Were you purchasing this stuff at that time because you initially thought you might be able to go through with this?
Partially, and then I couldn't bring myself.
You just couldn't do it. Okay. So one of the next receipts we kind of talk about is going to be several days later.
I had these thoughts in my head to try to do this, and then I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Okay. Now we go to the following day. This is going to be the 4th. This is at the Dollar General store, and we're still in Orangeburg, South Carolina. What do you purchase there that we spoke about?
Excuse me.
What's this here?
Some trash bags.
Trash bags. Why'd you buy those trash bags? To do what now?
Put the bodies.
To put the bodies in.
Okay, but then to throw some of my own trash out too.
Okay.
I had a lot of stuff in the vehicle I was trying to throw out.
Now, you said you're just driving around, you have the bodies in the car, and where are you going at that time?
Nowhere, I guess, because in my mind I'm just running. I have nowhere to go.
Because you didn't plan this.
I didn't plan this. No, it's just like
Spontaneous.
This is spontaneous, and I just fucked up my whole life.
Okay.
One bad incident, and I'm not following through with what I should have, and I.
Now, we spent some time really trying to figure out where your children are at.
Yeah.
What did we kind of come up with?
Looking somewhere on Route 10 between, I think, Greenville and Camden.
Well, let's go back to
Okay.
September 5th,
Yeah.
Friday night. What did you tell us happened Friday night?
September 5th.
That was when you said your vehicle got stuck?
Yeah, so
Tell us about that.
I pulled off to the side at somebody's house to try to collect myself to see where I was at.
Yeah.
And in the process of pulling back onto the road, I got stuck in a
You got
ditch.
stuck, and what happened?
The tow truck had to come out. He called a wrecker.
All right. Did you have any law enforcement contact that night?
A law enforcement just showed up on his own. He was patrolling, and
Okay. Can you describe what he looked like?
probably about maybe 5'10", shaved hair, Caucasian male.
Okay.
When you have contact with this officer, where are your children?
In the car.
Okay, they're dead in the car.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they're still where you set them.
Yes, sir.
What's going on in that car since they've been sitting for so long? I mean, you kill them on Thursday.
No, they weren't sitting there. Some of the time I took a couple days and just stayed home.
Okay. Did you leave them in the vehicle?
Or were they in the house at that time?
I think they were in the vehicle and I was just sitting there.
Not what you think. We want to know
No, I
what
mean
the
I
truth
believe
is.
I believe that they were in the vehicle.
But you're
and I was-
talking about the weekend it happened.
Yes, and I was just sitting there thinking, oh,
Ah.
what am I gonna do?
Okay. Well,
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Does this tie this together? Because that's I'm trying to tell you what I know.
sure.
yeah,
So
Tim.
all I'm saying from that Thursday, though, the 28th, and you say after all this happens, you place their bodies in the vehicle.
Yes.
Between then and the time you come in contact with the officer, and that would be Friday on September 5th. So we have over a week's time that has passed by. Your children are still in the vehicle. Is that correct?
What date?
Friday, when you have contact
Yeah,
with
so
the
the
law.
next Saturday was, yeah.
Okay, so they're in the vehicle the whole time. What's kind of happening in the vehicle? As far as how does it smell in there?
Stinks like shit.
What's happening with the children? You were telling me before.
But the blood was probably just coming out of their bodies because I just left them in there. And I believe that, well, as far as I know, I think when your body dies, blood and water separate. I think that's,
Now we had asked, because you purchased the saws and everything, had you used any of the saws on your children?
I think I tried to start on that time and I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Okay. And we'll get to where that happens. Had you tried with any of the other children?
Mm-mm.
No?
He was kind of the whole center of this thing.
Mm-hmm. He's what kind of started this all.
He triggered us all.
If he would have told you what happened to the outlets that night,
I would have went and acted appropriately to try to help him.
none of this would have happened.
I think he didn't tell me because I think it was intended for me. I think that's why it would make sense for
Okay.
him not to tell me.
So let me ask you, so you have contact with the law enforcement officer Friday night. The children are still in the vehicle. That would have been on the 5th.
The 5th, yes.
Saturday's when you get picked up here.
The 6th.
That's going to be the 6th. That's Saturday. But that Saturday morning, we look at this receipt. And this is where?
The Greenville, Alabama.
Greenville, Alabama. And what, do you remember what you buy there?
10 packs of cigarettes and some Zuzus and Wham Whams.
Okay. And I just see groceries, so I don't know what you purchased there.
Candy
But,
bars.
and if the time on the receipt is correct, it's telling us 8:18 in the morning.
Yep.
Your children, they're still in the vehicle with you. You're positive about that on Saturday.
Not the whole day, yeah.
Okay, at that time though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go from Greenville, Alabama, and then the next receipt we have is Camden, Alabama. And what do you do in Camden?
I pulled some money out. I was intending to go to Vegas.
Okay. And you take out $500?
$500.
All right. Now, that time is at 1:06 p.m. At that point, were the children in your
I
vehicle?
don't believe they were. I think that they were gone.
You already disposed of them?
Pretty sure.
Okay,
All right.
so
With that in mind, can you describe to me what you were telling me earlier about where you disposed of your children at?
They're in some wooded road, log truck looking thing off on the side in bags.
Was it a 2-lane road that this was off of?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. You said it was a heavily wooded area?
It was heavily wooded. It looked like if you went up in the area where I did, it was either like some of the trees got knocked out of the way, like people potentially either starting to clear it, or maybe somebody came through there and was bulldozing up ATV path or something. I don't know. It wasn't something that was incorporated. That's kind of what I would say. It was unincorporated.
Unincorporated?
your children, you do what once you get to this location?
Put them in bags and put them off to the side.
Okay. Tell us about Natan. Does this happen there? Or did this happen in a separate place where
Well, you said you started to cut them.
You started.
This happened there.
Where did it happen? In the vehicle, outside of the vehicle?
Outside the vehicle.
And what do you do?
I began to try to saw a leg and I couldn't bring myself to finish it. Oh, I can't do that.
How far did you get?
Maybe about that far in. I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that to him.
Okay. So you did not cut his leg off.
No.
What did you do with his body?
I just put him in a bag and said, I gotta sit you guys over there. I said a prayer for him and walked away.
Okay. Did you place each child in a separate bag? And then did you walk them a couple at a time or one at a time? Which is it?
A couple at a time.
Couple at a time?
Just however many trips it took to get 5 of them over there.
Now we asked if they're going to be essentially all together, if you put them in different places.
No, I put them in the same place. If somebody didn't check the bags and they started looking in there and moving around, I don't know what.
Mhm.
For all I know, they may not be there.
Okay.
I'm not lying to you that much. I'm telling you the truth. I don't know what happened, obviously, between where I put them and the time I'm here now. I don't know if somebody went back and
You said they just look like they're a pile of
5 garbage bags.
5 garbage, so it looks like they're just garbage in there. Okay. So what do you do then? Do you try to hide the bags at all?
I just put them off to the side. I knew there was no hiding bags. There ain't no hiding this. I'm gonna get caught. It's just a matter of time. I'm buying myself time. I'm gonna get caught.
So you go. You don't try to hide the. In other words, you don't cover the bags up, but you go back to your vehicle, and from your vehicle,
I just drove aimlessly,
and then
I say aimlessly. I was in an aimless path toward Las Vegas. That's why I was doing this, and that explained me going around the major cities.
all right,
And it explains my line of travel maybe.
until you get here in Smith County.
And then I didn't intend to get and then that's when everything blows up in my face.
Now you were telling us that was actually in the car. Was not Spice, but they are called.
This is Scooby Snacks.
Okay.
You said locally in Lexington County you bought those from where?
Time Warp.
Time Warp?
And what do they kind of do for you?
They calm the voices down inside my head to let me be at peace and not act on them.
They kind of give you the same high as what drug? I think you're talking about
It's like marijuana in the sense that it gives you a high, but it's not the high that I'm looking for. It's the effect of quieting this. It's medication. I know that sounds stupid as heck,
No,
but
not at all.
That's why I need to see a doctor.
Okay.
We'll go through these.
Absolutely, yeah.
So this will answer a lot of that.
Sure,
You
sure.
have any other questions?
Well, what I want to do, we'll go through this, but as we've done this today, nobody has threatened you today, and we'll go over this in this forum. Is that correct?
Yes.
And do you think we treated you fair today?
Yes.
All right, you've done the same for us. Have you been completely honest with us?
Yes.
Now, one thing though, you didn't tell us about taking that saw to Natan, not until we started this tape. You had not mentioned that. But I told you we're gonna perform autopsies on your children. We're gonna find them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me the 4 children, 4 of them, we're gonna find out that they were suffocated. Now you're grabbing your hands, you're putting them around your throat. That's what you did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you suffocated them? Did you put a pillow over that?
No.
No. All right, if you could just say out loud what you're doing.
I use my hands to suffocate my kids.
Is there
Alright.
anything else we need to know, Tim, about what happened to him? Anything you may have attempted to do to him afterward?
Used a belt too.
Used a belt too? How'd you use a belt around their necks? Did you do that with all 5 children? No.
With who?
Who did you use the belt on?
I forget which ones.
Okay.
I used it as.
What is the autopsy going to show with Natan?
I don't know.
Did you use the belt on him?
It's gonna. I don't know. I didn't use the belt on him. No, I came in and he was gone, and that's when I went into panic mode, if you will.
So you're not sure what the autopsy will show for Natan?
I don't know what it's gonna show. I don't know what actually was the. I don't know what his actual cause of death was. That's just the point. And I didn't want to go. I was afraid I was gonna just get myself locked up.
Yeah.
Did you use the belt on Eli?
I don't think I did. I think it was just bare hands.
What-
I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to lie to you. Those memories
Yeah,
are
alright.
clouded.
Well, what about who do you remember using the belt on?
Babies.
On the babies?
Who were the babies, Tim?
Pardon?
Gabriel and Elaine, is that correct? Elaine is also known as Abigail, right? Okay.
And when you say the belt, you put the belt around their.
I used to strangle him.
Used to strangle. Why didn't you use your hands with them?
I don't know. At that point, I wasn't thinking. At that point, I was just thinking, run, get rid of the bodies, and you're fucked, Tim.
Were the older children? Did they put up a fight?
I mean, what person's not?
Right.
You told us earlier that Eli said something to you before you killed him. What did he say to you?
Take me with, Dad.
What do you think Eli meant when he said that?
I think he just wanted to go where I was. He knew Natan was gone.
So they.
I don't know exactly what he meant by that. I mean, I don't know where he thought I was going. I didn't even know where I was going at that time. This is just happening. It's like in my mind, I don't know what to do now.
Did any of the other children say anything before you killed him?
Gabriel said, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's a question I was gonna. We're gonna ask you here. Is we've gone over all this and you've been honest with us. Are we going to find any of the other children cut up at all? No? You didn't try to burn them at all?
I can't bring myself to do
Tim,
okay.
Tim, what about the bleach in the vehicle when you got
to
stopped?
cover up the blood.
To cover up the blood?
I also, no, in honest truth, I do like bleach because it makes stuff smell clean.
So you're probably trying to get rid of some of that odor?
Not just that. I mean, no. So I mean, I would carry it around in the car even if because I liked bleach and it made stuff
Okay.
clean. Like you want to go. That was just me. Weird like that.
You're also willing to go with us to try to locate the bodies?
I am, but like I said, I don't know how productive that's going to be. I don't want you guys to get out there. Oh, you're pissing around, wasting our time. No, I'm not. I mean, I drive, but forgive me. Part of that's a blank.
All right, Tim, we ran through these questions earlier. You've heard them all, so there's no surprises. Unfortunately, we got to do it again because of the issue with the recorder. First question is, do you know where you are?
Yes.
Where is that?
Smith County.
Smith County? Do you know who you are?
Tim Jones.
Tim Jones, what's your date of birth, Tim?
12/28/1.
Do you know why we've been talking to you?
Trying to find out what happened to my kids.
Okay. Do you understand that you've just confessed to a crime?
Yes.
Do you understand that your confession will be used against you in
Yes.
court? Did you confess voluntarily?
Yes.
Did anyone threaten you if you didn't confess?
No.
Can you speak a little louder?
No.
No? What do you think will happen to you as a result of confessing to a crime?
I have no clue.
No clue? Okay, fair enough. Why did you decide to confess?
I didn't do the right thing.
To do the right thing? That's exactly what you told me earlier. Do you feel guilty about the crime which you just confessed to?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. If so, why?
I felt that I took measures that were extreme, not necessary because of fear. I fear my life because of kids.
Okay. Did you do the crime on purpose?
Natan was an accident.
He was an
That
accident.
was really an accident. I was just trying to find out what was going on. If you look at that picture of me holding my little son, yeah, it's just a picture of me with the older one trying to say, son, what's going on? And he wouldn't tell me, and I don't know if he was messing with the stuff, and
So
the PT took him over the edge.
Natan was an accident, but you murdered the other 4 children.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you do that? We talked about this earlier.
Then voices started kicking and said, you better do something, you're fucked now, Tim.
Okay. What were you trying to accomplish by doing this crime?
Just trying to flee because I knew my time was short. I was going to get in trouble anyway. I'm not good at being bad. I'm not a good criminal.
When did you decide to do this?
After Natan had been gone, I started listening to what was going on in my head and I carried it out. I didn't carry out everything because if I did, I would have carried out what was on those papers. That's the stuff that comes out of my head.
What did you think about your children, just in general?
I think that they were going to have issues like me.
Issues like you? Okay.
I think that they were going to have issues from not only from a broken home. I think that there's genetic diseases that I think that there was some things that my dad, if you guys had seen yesterday, he doesn't know about my mom.
Yeah.
I think that there's things I know about my mom, even though I wasn't around when that happened, because I think I've got some of what she has.
What kind of people do you think the children were when you committed the crime? I understand this is a weird question for what we're talking about, but we had to ask it earlier too.
I think they were conspiring.
Think they were conspiring against you?
It seems to make the most sense to me. I mean, why else would somebody go do something like that and not tell me what he's doing?
Do you understand that you've just... sorry, I'm getting behind myself. When you did this, did you think your actions could hurt the children?
Yes.
Yes? So you knew that what you were doing to the children was going to...
I knew that what I was
harm
doing
them or take their lives.
It was to protect myself.
Okay.
I know that sounds fucking pathetic.
When you did this crime, did you know it was wrong?
At the time, I didn't think any of it was wrong. It happened, and just I'm happenstance, and let me finish it up now.
Okay. When you did the crime, did you know it was against the law?
At the time, I didn't think about the law, so I'm going to say no.
Okay.
The law didn't come into my mind. I wasn't caring about the law. Dealing with dead children on my hands. Fuck the law. I'm in trouble, man. My kids are dead.
Yeah. Did you think you might get caught?
No, you're fine.
I knew I was going to get caught. I'm not a good criminal. It was a matter of time.
Gotcha. Why did you think that? Just because you weren't a good criminal?
I'm not a good... Grandma's told me something that's the truth. Tim, you ain't... I told it to my kids too. You guys ain't good being bad, so be good.
What did you do to protect yourself from getting caught?
Start driving and try to get this guy's the bags. And then get rid of the stuff at the house.
What all did you get rid of at the house?
Everything. I gave the neighbor...
You're just saying your general possessions.
Yeah, I just didn't think about keeping my stuff anymore. The hell with it.
Yeah.
I gave all my stuff away. I mean, my life's over. That's what I thought about it.
Have there been times you wanted to do something like this but decided against it?
I mean, I've had these thoughts, but none of this happened until this actually materialized. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, why didn't you do that in the past if you've had these thoughts before?
Why didn't I?
Yes.
I didn't have any reason to act on them.
No reason to act on them? Okay. Would you have done this if a uniformed officer had been standing next to you?
Yes.
Even
I wouldn't have cared. No, man, because...
elbow to elbow with you, you would have still
I wouldn't
done
have
this.
cared, yeah. And here's why. At that point in time, I didn't care because I saw myself as a damn target. And I saw him as having the gun in his hand, if you will. I know he was a kid, but that's how I saw it. Like, shit, he's...
And
out to get me.
when you say him, you're talking about...
Natan.
Natan. And how old is Natan?
6 years old.
6 years old. Did anyone tell you to do this?
The voices inside my
Voices
head.
in your head. And just confirm the voices in your head are not God.
They're not God. No, God would... No, this ain't Isaac and Abraham.
Okay. When you did this, did you know that society would condemn your actions, even if they knew everything that you know?
I mean, at the time, I sort of didn't care.
You didn't care? Okay.
Yeah, I was like... I don't know, I felt like I was marked for dead, if you will. And I was just acting accordingly.
Did you have any strange or unusual mental experiences around the time of the crime?
Yes. Of course.
If so, what were they and when did they begin?
When he told me what he said,
Yes.
all kinds of stuff started triggering. And then I worked harder to get out of him to try to see if maybe I can put it back together. And then I realized that he's not doing this per se to... He's not telling me what's going on because it appears he's got something intended for me. And he doesn't want me to know that it's right for me.
Yeah.
Because normally they're pretty apt to tell me the truth. And if they don't, I give them a couple squats and a push-up and they spit it out. he ain't doing that, which means there's some motive that he does not want me.
Is that why you pushed him so hard?
Yes, I tried pushing more. Give me some more, a little more pressure. Maybe he'll just tell me what's going on. That's always worked before. And so the fact that it didn't work this time tells me that there was something that he didn't want me to know.
When he got pushed to his limit, did he just pass out right there, or what happened?
He went to bed and he was tired.
He went to bed and he just never woke up.
And then I came back to check on him and he wasn't breathing. I said, "Oh shit, what have I done? My kid's dead in my hand. They're gonna think I murdered him. I just BT'd him. He's fucking with the owl. I don't know what happened to him." And then all sorts of stuff starts triggering in my head, and that's like the other four become a victim.
Tim, have you ever heard or seen things that weren't really there?
Yes.
If so, has this been when taking drugs?
Both, with or without drugs.
With and without drugs? What did you see or hear?
I've seen people. I've had conversations. I've started to talk with people when there's nobody in the room.
You told me shapes earlier.
I'll see shapes. Yeah, it's the strangest thing. I'll see shapes and things materialize that aren't real.
Has this happened while we've been talking to you tonight?
Yes.
What have you seen while you were talking to us tonight?
Well, I see people.
What kind of people do you see?
Just normal, everyday people. I don't talk to them because if you guys you're gonna say start talking to me, not them, dude. If you pay attention to what's going on in my cell, I get so nutty I start talking to them.
Did this happen the day of the crime?
Yes.
What did you see the day of the crime? Did you see people?
Oh, I think you're talking about I'm sorry, this goes back to the
just
voices.
the voices? Okay.
Yeah, the voices ran rampant in my head. And there was no space for logic to talk. They were so loud that the logic was quiet. And
I understand. Do you have any ideas or beliefs that other people think are crazy? If so, what are they?
I'm a Freemason.
You're a Freemason? Okay.
I don't know, they probably think my thoughts about exercise are nuts, but I mean, I tend to think people should take care of themselves.
Okay.
I'm old school in the sense that I think kids should get their asses busted by a teacher.
Okay.
I don't like the fact, and here's one of my problems. This is what the DSS was about.
Yeah.
When I grew up, I didn't worry about kids bringing guns to school and blowing the hell out of each other or the teacher. That didn't happen because there was a healthy fear, and you got corrected by parents. These day and age, kids bring guns to school because I don't think that they're corrected at home, and they take other people's lives because they got no respect for authority. I said, I will not let my kids go out and go blasting people away because I'm not teaching them to respect human life. So that was my whole motivation with the time to push him. Hey, dude, you need to tell me what you're up to, man. I need to know.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't tell me.
So you'd say your personal beliefs affect your actions?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true for everybody.
Yeah. I think so too.
I don't know who wouldn't be.
You know, obviously if you believe something, it doesn't affect your actions. You don't really believe it that much, do you?
Yeah, you say you do, but you don't, right?
Yeah. Do people ever have difficulty understanding you?
Yes.
If so, why do you think this is?
People say I'm really smart, and I talk at 100 miles an hour, and I'll go from one subject to another, and it seems random to them, but to me it makes sense.
I've understood you tonight. I can see how people would think that, though.
You're more understanding than the typical person. I can tell that. I got a sort of a nuance about people. You're a very people person, I can tell.
Well, I'm here to try to understand.
Well, no, I'm saying
I told you earlier.
Not all cops are that way.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I was resistant to the other ones.
The ones that you spoke with last night. And I may have some questions for you about that. We'll talk about those in a minute. The next question, so we can get through these. Have you ever been told that you had a mental illness?
By a doctor?
Just anybody.
I've had, oh yeah, you're fucking nuts, dude. My nickname in high school was the crazy white guy.
Crazy white guy?
I'm not joking, yeah, that was my nickname.
So people in high school told you this. You told us earlier the military also told
The military said I was wrongly enlisted due to some wrong enlistment. I fell into depression.
Okay. Have you ever had any treatment, or have you ever been hospitalized for any of these issues?
No, I fought it.
You fought it? Okay.
I tried to.
Have you ever had a diagnosis?
No.
No? Do you think you have a mental illness?
I think something's not right. I don't know what I think I may have some, not some.
Okay.
If I'm anything like my mom, yeah, I got lots.
I got you. Were you drinking or using any drugs at the time of the crime?
No, it was self-medication afterwards.
Afterward? What did you take afterward?
Scooby snack. It was the only thing that would try to calm the voices long enough for me to collect myself, and it really didn't work because what I just did,
Yeah.
nothing was working.
Were you drinking or using any drugs when you were arrested?
I think I'd been smoking Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks? Okay.
Speaking of that, can I have another one, please?
Another cigarette?
Yeah. Oops, steal 20 bucks from my wallet and have them buy
There you
some
go.
more.
Do you have any illnesses? Physical illnesses?
So I'm just telling you what I think based off of my experience.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm the type who doesn't really like to go to doctors, which is,
I can
I guess,
respect
a
that.
male thing.
Yeah.
I think I got an ulcer.
An ulcer?
Yeah, and the reason why is because I get those sulfur burps.
Mm-hmm.
They like eggs, and I don't know. And then also, some foods will just do a number to my gut. I've been told I might have colitis or Crohn's. My
Okay.
digestive tract sensitive. That's why you don't see me eat much.
I got you. Hey, speaking of
Um,
eating, you still don't want anything to eat? Or
No,
drink?
I
You're
mean,
good right now?
No, I can't eat
Okay.
right now. As far as also, I got issues with my back because I smashed my head. I was so young. I got stuff that's out of line, and I asked them to give me a. They made me sleep on that hard metal thing, and I asked them if I could have a mattress because my stuff hurts, and I guess they think I was gonna hang myself with a mattress or something.
You're talking about here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But you say you're not suicidal at all.
If I was gonna do it, it would have already happened. No, man, I'm not willing to take that. I'll do a lot of stuff, but
Because you said your religious beliefs.
taking my life is not one of them.
Because what happens? You say if you kill yourself,
If you kill yourself, well, maybe nothing does happen, and maybe, Lord, I love you. Maybe God's a myth, and we die and we go to the ground. But if He's not, and it's real, well, if it does what it says, hell's not a very fun place. I don't think it plans on freezing over anytime soon. I don't want to go there.
Were you taking any medications before you were arrested?
I don't think so.
Okay. Were you taking any medications at the time of the crime?
And you talking about
Like prescription medications?
So I mean, I had ibuprofen and naproxen.
Okay.
So those, yeah, but nothing like. To me, that's all I had.
Okay.
I didn't have anything
Fair
else.
enough.
That's all they gave me.
And we talked about this question earlier. Have you ever had a seizure or fit?
I don't know what the word fit means, but I think I may have had some seizures, the non-violent type.
Okay. Did you have one the day of the crime in question?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I can't say that I
Okay.
did.
Have you ever been knocked unconscious?
Yes.
Yes. If so, when?
I mean, I grew up as a young teenager in Chicago, and I had to protect myself because I'm white, and most of those guys aren't white, and they don't like me because of my skin color. And you know what that means.
And you said earlier that you were not treated for these injuries.
No, I'm stubborn ass and don't go to the doctor unless I need to.
Is there?
I got a few things. We started off today at 17:30, or I'm sorry, 19:30, about 7:30 p.m. Does this sound right to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been here for a number of hours. It's 10 o'clock.
It is currently 10:53 p.m.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
10,
that's
yeah.
Central
so
Time.
This is
Actually,
okay. So we're going off of.
It's actually 9:55 p.m.
Okay. So we've been here a number of hours.
What time is it?
It's 9:55. My wristwatch didn't
Oh
change
yeah,
time zones.
you're from
Yeah.
Carolinas.
Yes. Yes. And in that time, you've had a number of cigarettes. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We've asked you if you want to use the bathroom, something to eat, something to drink. In fact, you've had something to drink here.
Yes, sir.
All right. A couple things I did want to go through with you before. We had talked about when this happened, the children, when this happened in the living room, you were saying the bodies were on the ground.
Yes.
And the other kids, did they know what was coming?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they supposed. I have no clue.
Mhm.
I wasn't exactly in a state of mind watching. Hey, does he care? No.
Right? Did they put up a fight?
Well, I mean, what normal human's not?
Okay, and I understand you're trying to tell me they did. And what do you mean by that, though?
They didn't want to go.
What do you mean?
They didn't want their lives taken.
Why didn't you get help? Before all this, you told us you had thoughts about this. Why didn't you get help?
Just put it off thinking I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get help later.
Why not give the children to your father?
I didn't think that way.
How about to their mother?
She didn't want them. She said that they couldn't come with her if they had asked. The two two of them, Natan and Mira, had made a plot, and they originally got DSS involved in the attempt they were going to try to get themselves taken out of the house. So they made up a bunch of lies, as the lady would say. If you talk to her, they made up some stuff that weren't true, and she found out, she got to the bottom of it.
But Tim, why after things happened with Natan, you're telling us that was not done intentionally?
No, that was not done intentionally.
The other four
well, it was done
are.
intentionally in the sense that I was trying to just get answers out of him.
Okay.
I didn't go and intentionally just go hurt him.
Why not after you had plenty of time? You have over a week's time where those children, the bodies now.
Because at that point,
with you?
sir, because at that point I'm not thinking anything but I'm screwed. I'm not thinking logically. If I was thinking logically, I would have done that. But I didn't. Logic went out the window.
All right.
I didn't think normal at all. At that point, I don't know. I wasn't myself.
And after everything that's happened, you were questioned yesterday. You were questioned by the sheriff. You were questioned by people with the Mississippi State Police. You don't tell them the whole truth. Why not?
The guilt hadn't eaten me yet far enough.
All right. What you're telling us here today, is this the truth?
Yes.
The evidence that we're going to see, whether it's the autopsies or when we find the bodies, is it going to support what you're telling us here today?
Yes, barring that I don't know what else you may see, poke, stab,
Sure.
thrown in the car. But I mean, they may have some crush, something in there. You're gonna find a mark on Natan's leg.
Okay.
And
we did talk about, the sheriff had told you about a part of a scalp in the car.
I don't know exactly how that came about. It may be just thrash of me putting bodies in there.
Okay.
I don't know where that came from.
And I had asked you if there would be any broken bones and
You might find some now. I don't know as far as. So I mean,
did that happen before they died?
No. No.
Okay.
With breaking bones wasn't a way to me to. I mean, I wasn't using them at that point. I wasn't thinking at that point, let me break bones to get what I'm going to do done. No, I was thinking, let me go get this done and get out of here.
Well, and you know you're being recorded right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, and you know this is voluntary, just like talking to us here today.
I'm incriminating myself, I know.
But after everything we've gone over, what is it you'd like to say about your actions?
God, I'm sorry. Children, I love you. I hope I see you again someday if I'm worthy to. I'm sorry.
All right, and you're willing to go with us tomorrow?
I'm willing to, but I don't know where. I don't know where to look. I mean, I know the general vicinity. I don't know exactly where. I'm willing to try. So I'm telling you, I can't. I drove around with the intention that I wasn't ever gonna have to go back there and look because I was so ashamed of what I'd done. I'll try. I don't know if I'm gonna help you. I'll try though. I surely will. Because they need a burial.
All right, Tim, I just got a couple of just follow-up questions here. You mentioned the police officers you spoke with last night, they could have done things a little differently when they spoke to you. Can you just tell us from your experience what you think they could have done better or worse than what they did?
If I'm being recorded, let me say this much. Let me share my experience with So I've done time before.
Okay.
I don't know that it's I've been put up there in the rubber room, no clothes, no mattress, no nothing for the whole time. I asked him for a blanket just to cover up because they cut the shower off of me. I was using that to keep warm.
Yeah.
I feel that they could have gave me clothes. I said, give me at least something. So I don't want to sound like I'm being nitpicky. I mean, I'm not the person to be nitpicky, but there's metal that's rusting. And I told them, guys, that produces tetanus. I don't want to get tetanus, and they don't care. Yeah. So if I lay on that, and you can see the paint look, so there's the paint from that's just one. If I pull the shirt off, you're probably going to find pieces on my back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
That's the paint. Well, there's also rusted metal, and I'm afraid I'm going to get tetanus, but they won't give me any blanket or any mattress.
Well, what about the interview yesterday, though? That's primarily what I'm asking you about.
So the reason I stiff-armed those guys is because, I don't know, they don't talk the way you do. There's something about your approach that makes it very easy to speak to you. They weren't that way. No offense, you're intimidating hell. You're an FBI agent. I'm not so apt to talk to you. To me, you're here, and I'm way down here, and you're gonna crush me. You're the FBI. I'm just a nobody.
Well, Tim, I feel like we've had a good talk this evening, and I appreciate you speaking to us.
Man. There ain't nothing good here.
Is there anything we could have done better in what we all talked about this evening?
Shoot, man, I've never been asked that question by you. Not, I can't think of anything better. No.
You think we were fair to you this evening and gave you an opportunity to tell your story?
Yes, but if there's something that you could do for me, it would seriously be to contact my mother. Help me.
I'm
If you
look at
guys
that,
really
Tim.
want to help me, please do. I didn't tell you the truth with the intention I was gonna not get help.
All right, Tim, would you be willing to speak with me in the future if I've got some more questions or some things I'd like to talk to you about?
I'm sure you're going to if you see the bodies. Yeah,
Okay.
that's expected.
What do you mean?
I mean, when you see the bodies, I'm sure you're gonna ask me more questions just because
But
that's.
you're willing to speak to us again if we need to speak again?
There's no reason not to at this point.
Okay. And I'm
I'm not
Detective.
accomplishing anything by withholding the
understand.
truth.
Well, just for the record, I'm Detective Creech with the Sheriff's Department. I'm the case officer on this incident, and I'll be back in touch with you. I'm sure we'll have some more questions at some point. Okay. And with me is David Mackey with the Federal Bureau of Investigations.
No disrespect, man, about that comment, but you really are. That's.
On June 4th, 2019, Timothy Jones Jr. was found guilty on 5 counts of murder and that there were aggravating factors that meant he should get the death penalty. He appealed in 2021, claiming that he got an unfair trial, but the death sentence stands as of today. He is currently awaiting execution.